MEDIA-020719. We go where you go. Call us at 1-877-932-9766 or download the app from your app store, Talktainment Radio. Watch us on Facebook /TalktainmentRadio.com. Social media, can we balance it? Is it possible? Here with Isaiah Fields of Simple Records and Aaron Boyd and Isaiah. Before we go forward, let's talk a little bit about Aaron Boyd. You said no problem. If you got a problem, 9 out of 10 times we can solve it. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about Aaron Boyd quickly.
Well, it's a one-stop shop on the services that you need provided for yourself. You need an emergency cleaning? We have that. We have, you have to be out of your apartment, say, by tomorrow. You need somebody to come through and clean from top to bottom, and it's overwhelming you, and you just don't have enough time in the day where you can call us. We're very good pricing, very competitive pricing in the market.
Yes.
We also provide a moving service. So with the cleaning, you can get a clean of your new place before you move in. AFM will come in, move you to the new spot, and from your old spot will clean as they go. So it gets everything done in one fell swoop. And
I can tell you, that's a big problem and a wonderful solution, because moving can be very overwhelming.
Yes,
and so you do moving, you do cleaning. There's, like we mentioned earlier, so there's a lot of grandparents out here that are now parenting grandchildren, and sometimes they need their grandchildren taken to the school, to events, to social events, or need laundry picked up, need groceries picked up. So all of these are things that they can do with Aaron Boyd.
Yes, ma'am. We also provide those things too, just to relieve some pressure on a day-to-day life. Because as the times go, you get more and more busy, and you can lose track of certain things. And we try to be there for the little stuff, just the little stuff to get you by, so you don't have that much pressure and stress upon yourself to get certain things done. You can use us as a whatever you need service.
All right, sounds good. No job too big, no task too small.
Yes,
okay, so let's talk a little bit about social media. Now, the first half hour I wanted to talk about suicide, and the reason I wanted to talk about suicide, although the focus was on social media, is because there is a direct cause to mental health, depression, being unhappy, having that feeling of loneliness, anxiety, and social media platforms. And more alarming, Isaiah, is that with young teen females, now I just learned this from a great friend of mine that will be with us next week to talk about the path to wellness. So please join me next week. The path to, not next week, on the next show, the path to wellness. So she mentioned to me that there is a direct cause to social media platforms and young teen females' suicide. So what that means is not a correlation where the more app or platforms they use, the higher the depression and the suicide rate. No, it's a direct cause. So they have found the more platforms and social media platforms that young teen females are on, it is a direct cause to suicide. So that's why I wanted to lead in with suicide. And it's not just with them, it's just that that's a high rate. Okay? And I think a big part of that, Isaiah, goes with image, self-esteem. You got a daughter, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So how do we build our daughters up and their self-esteem? They compare themselves in another person's profile. I mean, there's a direct correlation to the increasing unhappy and isolation from frequent use of social media. Um, the effects of social media can be detrimental. The average person, I say, check their phone. Now, the stat I looked to me was very low. I can't even tell. What would be your guess of the average time that someone checks their phone in a, let's just say, an 8-hour day?
8 hour day. Wow.
It's hard to get that number, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's very. I think it's up there pretty high.
It is. And the number I got was under 30, and I said I know people that check their phone every second. You know what I mean? But the photos, looking at someone else's photos, can give them a poor self-esteem about themselves. So it can affect their self-image. You know. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you're guilty of it, but people will take photos and try to get that best shot to put on social media. But for me, they're missing the present time. So I'm busy trying to get this best shot with you that I can post, rather enjoying the time with you and visioning you with my two eyes. And I call that, being present. Being in present time and in the present moment. I took a class with Marcella Von Harding, and she had everyone put their phone away during the entire class. Woo! You had some non-compliant ones that couldn't do it. And you had some people that in and of itself caused anxiety. So with some people, there's a comfort to constantly looking at your phone, checking your likes, checking the response, checking someone else's profile. And that's where the anxiety and the mental health part comes in. Think about seeing a post that someone had a party and you weren't invited. The anxiety, the loneliness, and the poor self-esteem that causes. And it's sad, but we are at a place where, unfortunately, a lot of people's self-image is tied to social media and not tied to their father, their mother, their family, their associates. So it's easy to see how social media can affect us in a traumatic way. One being sleep. So I'm taking some of your wonderful sleep, so hopefully you'll be able to go and get some great sleep right after this. But having enough sleep is paramount important. It is the cornerstone to wellness. So if you use your phone at night, one thing you can do is no phone use 40 minutes to an hour before you go to bed. Not having the phone and the phone light, because that phone and that light being close to you and being on, it suppresses your body's melatonin and your body's ability to make melatonin, which is the hormone that's needed to help you get to that REM sleep and get to a restful sleep. So putting your phone, like we said at the beginning, not taking your phone into the bedroom, or at minimum not having it in the bed, not having it close to you, is huge. Another thing with the cell phone and having it there and checking, I talk a lot about the conscious and the subconscious mind, the attention span. And I think young people, and I'm saying young people all the way from 30 all the way down, young people know that they are losing their ability to focus. But they're not correlating it with the excess use and the strain that they're putting on their brain with social media. The ability to have easy access to entertainment, to information, so easy, it has a mental strain on the brain.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, the people look at social media as like, oh, it's so harmless. Like it won't affect me. It's just an app, or it's just somewhere that I just go and I just look at sometimes, But it actually really does have an internal effect that a lot of people don't pick up on. That it affects your self-esteem. It affects what you wear. If it affects something in real time and you actually have to think twice about it, then it really has some control over you. So it's just, putting social media in its right place. I do it on my time when I want to, not because I feel the urge to get on social media or I care about what somebody else says about me. But that comes along with going outside and interacting with people. You pick up on certain things that kind of build you up, your social immune system, so to speak.
Your social immune system. That's good. I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to tag that one and store that one for future use. Your social immune system. A lot of people have a weak immune system. Now, I chuckled earlier because you said something about stalking, and I'm guilty as charged because I stalk a lot and don't post enough, is what you tell me.
Yeah.
But there is a group of people that stalk other people's profiles, and it causes them to think and assume that person has a wonderful life, and then wonder why their life is not like that person's life. So they can just at a gander think that they're having a peek into this. Oh, her life is so wonderful. Oh, her posts, and look how many likes she gets, and then that causes depression. It causes anxiety, and it affects your mental health, and it is not good because it's not a reality, and it's not a true assessment of what they're going through or their life. So that was. I just had to chuckle when you said that, but we know that happens a lot. People's post, and if they get likes or they don't get likes, I called it the Facebook envy. Looking at somebody else's Facebook page and wishing that was yours. But once we do that and compare ourselves to others, we've compared ourselves to an uncontrollable, something that's out of our control. That's not a good measuring stick, and we can never. We can never fix that or measure to that, and that's not good. And that, again, tributes to the mental health. So how do we become more aware and more mindful? Like you said, our screen time. How much time are we on other people's posts? These are questions we can just ask ourselves. How much time are we looking at other people's profiles and other people's things? Because it can be a business tool. A lot of people use it as a business tool because you can get to a person immediately and get your opinion heard. But the sad part in it, and you let me know what your thoughts are, a lot of people are, for example, liking other people's posts and not even present in their family.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah, I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it consumes them, and then especially in young people, it consumes them because, you want to feel accepted, you want to feel praised. It's social media is just like high school, amplified times 1,000. So you have all these people inside a classroom. You're not really learning anything. It's just random people just posting, and you got your cliques and your bullies and your everything. But if one was taught how to use it and successfully navigate it, and see social media for what it is, it wouldn't become such a problem.
Yeah.
But that is so. But like you said, people look at it and they see somebody's post and think that's how they live in, and say, "Oh, well, I'm in this mode and I'm stuck in this little train of my little train of life, and this guy's train of life looks way better than mine." And you kind of compare and you self-reflect and you say, "Why am I not there?"
Yes.
And that can bring a little burden onto you. But a lot of times people have to understand, that may be some young guy who's sitting at home, live with his mom and work at McDonald's, and he just posts these for attention or whatever it may have you. So he may be trolling, and you sitting there, attacking yourself over what he's posting.
Yes, and that's what I mean. You're measuring yourself to something you should not. that's out of your control, and your happiness and your self-worth cannot be based on someone else's profile, someone else's picture. Your self-worth and your happiness has to come from within. And saying that, I'm teaching a class this month on acceptance, because this is the month of the heart. We had a wonderful class on circulation on Monday. Next week we have energy, and then we have my class the following Monday on acceptance. And acceptance is our self-worth, our ability to love ourselves and to find happiness within. And that's truly where it comes from. It cannot come from outside of us. So that human connection, and that's what we're trying to accomplish with having youth night at the wellness center. We're trying to develop an atmosphere and a place where young people can come and have human connection. Human connection is vital. It is vital. There is an actual dis-ease that is called failure to thrive. And that failure to thrive comes from not having human touch. And how old is your daughter?
1 year old. Just
okay. So I don't know, were you there when she was born? Did the hospital do something called kangarooing or skin to skin? See, that's something new. And they have found that if you can connect the baby to the skin, no cloth, skin to skin connection with mom, did they do that with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And with father, that builds that bond of connection, and that in and of itself helps that baby to be healthy and to have wellness. And that's even with life continuously. Taking grandchildren, a friend of mine showed me an article on grandparents that babysit their grandchildren live longer. That's true. You know why that is? Because young people have energy. Older people are declining in their energy. And if you put that super energy, then it will bring their energy up. And, energy is important. I talk about that a lot. So, human connection, we can